Hujambo bwana Spokes. Mimi naitwa Anthony Nyongesa kutoka Aviation Radio 97.7 Nairobi. Swali langu kidogo linahusiana na kile ambacho kimeonekana kuwa ukiukaji wa haki za kibinadamu katika mkataba wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Siku ya jana tumeshuhudia mawakili akiwemo Martha Karua kule Tanzania wakirejeshwa hapa nchini, na walikuwa wamekwenda kuwakilisha mwenzao kitaaluma yao, na mpaka sasa hivi hatujaona Wizara ya Masuala ya Nje ikitoa taarifa yoyote. Ni swala ambalo pia nimetarajia ukiingia hapo utakuwa unalizungumzia, nikaona hujazungumzia, ndio maana nikakuuliza Kenya inasema nini, kwa sababu ni ukiukaji. Kuna mkataba wa East African Establishment ile statute iko pale. Sasa kwamba Wakenya wako huru kutoka taifa moja Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania kuingia taifa ambalo wanataka bila vizuizi, na kama kuna vizuizi lazima sababu zitolewe. Je, kwa upande wa serikali, serikali ya Tanzania imetoa sababu yoyote ya kuwarejesha nchini wale mawakili?
Asante sana kwa swala hilo, na kama ambavyo nimeelezea, kutokea sasa kusonga mbele tutakuwa unauliza maswali na kujibu, sio tu kusoma. Ni kweli kwamba Mheshimiwa Martha Karua na wengineo walikuwa wamekwenda kule kwa kutaka kuwakilisha mawakili wa Tundu Lissu. Na ni kweli kwamba katika Umoja wa Afrika Mashariki, ambao sasa hivi mwenyekiti ni Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto, watu wanaweza kuenda, wana uhuru wa kwenda kutoka nchi nyingine mpaka ile nyingine. Na nafikiri mmeona watu wengi sana hata kutoka Burundi ambao wanafanya kazi hapa, watu wa kutoka hata Kongo, wengi sana tu, hata Rwanda. Na sasa hilo sio jambo ambalo ni geni, kwamba kuna soko huria, soko hili la Afrika Mashariki, ukanda huu wetu, na ni jumuiya pia. Kwa hiyo hilo sio jambo ambalo tunafaa kusema kwamba lipo katika kanuni zetu na mkataba. Na hata wakati mmoja tulikuwa na kile ambacho tulichokiita Coalition of the Willing, ambapo Kenya, Uganda na Rwanda hauhitaji hata kuwa na passport. Unahitaji tu kuwa na kitambulisho, na mimi nimeshawahi kusafiri na kitambulisho kwenda Uganda. Lakini kama serikali mojawapo ya jumuiya nchi hizi 7 pengine imeonelea kwamba mtu fulani hafai kuingia katika nchini kwake, basi ina ruksa, ina mamlaka wa kuweza kusema kwamba kama ni wewe usiweze kuingia, kama ni wewe Mwaura usikwende kule, kama ni wewe Nyongesa usikwenda kule. Kwa hivyo bado wao wana ule uwezo fauka ya kwamba ni soko huria, na watu wanaweza kuuza bidhaa na kuenda katika maeneo tofauti tofauti katika ukanda huu wote wa Afrika Mashariki. Kwa hiyo kama wao wameamua vile, huo ni uamuzi wao, lakini hilo haliondolei kwamba kuna uhuru, kwa sababu pengine hatujui kile ambacho kilifanya wafanye vile, kwa sababu hayo ni maamuzi ya kwao, na Kenya haihusiki hata kidogo kwa mambo yale, kwa sababu hata sisi wenyewe tunaweza kusema kwamba mtu fulani asiweze kuingia katika nchi hii kama serikali. Good. Any other question?
Good morning. My name is Kevin Cherio, and I have 2 questions.
Kevin, you are from which media?
Daily Nation.
Of course, yes.
Thank you for that. One, you have not clearly stated this issue about the claimed threats, maybe that the government is trying to follow up on the opposition leaders. As we speak, we have seen news about former deputy president residences being occupied by perceived DCI officers, and also the home of Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya. So is it that the government is trying to silence these people? And also, secondly, on the issue of Martha Karua, we have previously seen opposition leaders from other countries making or walking around here freely without any intimidation, except the issue of Kizza Besigye. And what's the government position on this? Like, when we allow other opposition leaders to walk freely in Kenya. But when our opposition leaders from Kenya try to enter other countries, we see them being detained and subsequently being deported. What's the take of this? And going forward, do we expect to see the government of Kenya maybe trying to mend its fences with Tanzania? Thank you.
I don't think there's any diplomatic spat between Kenya and Tanzania. As I said, any country has a right to admit anyone within its territories. And we, as a government, knowing very well that even the chairmanship of the East African community is now resident with our president, cannot say or emphasize that further. The only thing is that if a certain government feels that they have information against a particular individual, whether in government or in opposition, they have the right to admit. The fact that there is free movement of people and goods, and even now we have e-visa here, ETA, it doesn't mean that then we don't take precautions. Sometimes even before, when you have applied to come, you have to be screened, because we can't just allow everyone to come to our country. It's also not true, Kevin, to say that opposition leaders are being disallowed from visiting other foreign countries. I personally have met Kizza Besigye here, actually. And you can see even when Raila Odinga was an opposition leader, he used to travel out to Tanzania. So to frame it that it is about opposition leaders, that is now going for the jugular. No, it's not a question of which side of the political divide that one belongs. There's a specific issue here. Mother Karua wanted to go and defend Tundu Lissu in Tanzania. So Tundu Lissu is somebody I know personally, and the government there feels otherwise, and they were deported. So it has nothing to do with opposition leaders, because other opposition leaders have not been refused admission in that regard. It's specific to this, and that we cannot question, because it is a decision of the Tanzanian government. When it comes to the opposition leaders here, when the security apparatus have information against any leader, and especially on incitement, this time around we are not taking it very kindly to anyone, and we are not going to be using, kids' glove. We are not. We are going to be very hard on anyone who is trying to incite the country, because we know where we are. We know where we have been before. We will not allow our country to degenerate into anarchy and chaos. Next question.
Okay. It's me again here.
No, I think let's get somebody else. It's only fair to have. We have many people. Kindly. There are many journalists.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
My name is Marian Muganda. I'm a journalist for the Standard newspaper.
Yes, Muganda.
So the UN and civil society have said that the human rights situation in the country is sad. Torture, enforced disappearance, etc. What is this? What is your take on the UN report, and what is the status of human rights inter-country?
Sorry, Muganda, I want to question you. Which UN report are you referring to? Because that's a general statement. You need to be factual. Right? Yes. Civil society in Kenya, yes, but which UN report are you referring to?
They have definitely released the
No.
just
Don't make
recently.
assumptions.
I'm not making
You should be able to quote the particular UN report. On the issue of the civil society, I can respond to you, but on the UN report, please get back to me when you have the right report. Now, on the issue of the civil society, it's unfortunate that civil society organizations have the right to picket and to caucus and to really fight for the rights of Kenyans. But for every right, there is a responsibility. And so therefore, we have seen of late members of the civil society, of which I'm a former member already, by the way, that's why I started my career, indulging into politics. And I was very surprised. About 3 weeks ago, I was invited at a civil society event, and I was even with some of my colleagues who are here. And the same members of the civil society could not allow me to speak. They were just shouting. I mean, I didn't have a right to speak. They are indulging into misinformation and disinformation. There is this Diana Gishengo, the leader, is it the Institute of Social Accountability? She went on Spice FM, lying openly that my office has got 36 billion. I wish I had the money. I mean, how do you make such blatant lies and you get away with it? The budget of the Office of Government spokesperson is not even 100 million. But this is a leader who is saying, Institute of Social, they don't even know how to read the budget, some of them. And then they come around, they want to incite people into violence, and then they do posturing for donor funding. Because there are people who must oppose government when it is having its right properly. That is why they had that thing of blood parliament. Most of the people interviewed there are civil society people, and it was one-sided. It was completely one-sided. And they never asked the question, who banned parliament? But they were quick to say, and they were saying 3 people. We reported 9 from IPOA, which is a state agency, and we said there are 60 cases and we're still investigating them, and people are even being arraigned in court. So we are even more transparent than them. But because they are in the game of playing politics for their local benefactors, but also internationally for funding, then they can make those assertions. I would want to say categorically that the Kenya government is very, very, committed to ensuring human rights and fundamental freedoms as per the international jus cogens enshrined in various conventions that Kenya is a treaty to within the community and committee of the United Nations. Thank you.